I saw when you turned off the light and finally allowed the mask of strength to fall to the floor. I was there, sitting beside you on the edge of that bed, while the silence of the house seemed to scream louder than your own sobs. If you've made it this far, if your finger has touched this screen, it wasn't by chance or a lifeless algorithm. It was because I stopped what I was doing on the throne of glory to tell you that the time of feeling like a deserted island has come to an end. I know you've been searching for answers, that you look at the ceiling and wonder if anyone really hears the sound of your heart breaking. Today I've come to confirm that for you who cry alone, I present myself as your eternal partner. You are not alone, and what I will reveal to you in this message will change the way you face your nights from now on. Before we move on, I want you to feel my presence now. Tell me, what is your name? From what place in the world are you hearing my voice, and what time does the clock show there at this moment of encounter? Know that every second has been counted by me, and if your chest burns, if you feel you have finally found the comfort you have so longed for, let your heart speak for you. Right now, like a cry that rises to the heavens, my Lord God, I am here. I signed up because I love you and want to hear you. Let this cry be the seal of our conversation. Stay with me until the last second, for I have a whispered word that will be the key to your rest, and whoever receives it will see the floodgates of peace open. I know you beyond what the mirrors show. I see the trembling in your hands when you hold the glass of water in the empty kitchen, trying to swallow the lump that insists on staying in your throat. I know the salty taste that runs down your face and bathes the pillow that so often is the only one that witnesses your pain. You wonder why you need to be so strong all the time, why everyone can crumble on your shoulders, but you feel you have nowhere to rest your head. For it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 56, verse 8, "You keep track of my wanderings. Put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your book? Every drop that fell from your eyes was collected by me. There wasn't a single tear lost on the living room carpet or the bathroom tile that I didn't keep like a precious jewel. I don't just see your crying. I see the reason for it. I see the disappointment with the one who promised to stay and left. I see the weariness of carrying the weight of an entire family on your shoulders. But today, the awakening for you is different. I invite you to stop fighting the ghost of loneliness. But I haven't yet shown you everything I saw in those hours when the sky seemed to be made of bronze and the ground seemed to disappear. There's something about the weight of your pillow that you still need to understand. If this word touched the wound you tried to hide all day, feel embraced by me and share this comfort with another soul who also walks in the desert. What do you feel tires you most on this solitary journey? Write in the comments, my rest. There was a specific dawn, perhaps it was last Tuesday or maybe a few months ago, when the cold in the room didn't come from the wind outside, but from an emptiness blowing from within your chest. You turned to your side, feeling the sheet, and felt the weight of the wet pillow. That cold fabric against your face was the silent testimony that words had ended, and only a groan remained. At that moment, the silence of the house seemed like a sentence of abandonment. You thought that if you left at that moment, no one would notice your absence until dawn. But I was there. While you looked at the crack in the curtain waiting for the day to arrive, I was sustaining each beat of your tired heart. I saw when you squeezed your eyes shut, trying to expel a painful memory, or a fear that keeps you from sleeping. You feel like you're in an endless corridor, where the doors are locked and the lights go out one by one. The world demands smiles from you. Work demands efficiency. Your family demands provision. But who asks about you? For it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 18, "The Lord is near to the broken-hearted and saves the crushed in spirit." I am not far away, in the stars or in stone temples. I am in the dampness of your tears. I am in the pause between one sigh and another. That feeling that you are being forgotten is the greatest lie the enemy has tried to plant in your garden. Every drop of pain you shed on that pillow was not in vain. They are watering a soil you cannot yet see, but which will soon bear flowers that never wither. You think it's just a cry of defeat, but I see it as a cry of resistance. There is still something I am silently preparing while you sleep. Something that involves the names of those who caused you this emptiness. I haven't yet shown you what I saw when you tried to smile, to disguise your tiredness in front of the mirror this morning. There is a revelation about your provision that is being kept for the moment when your gratitude becomes a living seed. What would you say to God if you could hold His hands now in the silence of your room? If this comfort has reached your soul, touch the heart of this video and subscribe so we can continue walking together on this journey. Send this message to a friend you know who also cries silently. Write in the comments, "Your presence is enough." Beloved daughter, as I wipe your face with the edge of my cloak, I want you to understand that our covenant is not made only of whispers of comfort, but of acts of surrender that demonstrate where your trust truly lies. I gave you my breath of life, my peace that surpasses understanding, and I gave my own Son for you, and now I invite you to a step of faith that renews your soul and sustains this altar of prayer. Look to this place, to this channel, where my voice reaches you and lifts you up in your darkest days. If this space has been the balm for your hidden wounds and the nourishment that sustains you when the world seems to have forgotten you, listen to what my heart has to say to you. If it is possible for you, only if it is possible, transform your gratitude into a seed of love for this channel. Consider my love and that of my Son Jesus, and contribute using the link in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. There you will find the place where your offering of love can be deposited and consecrated before the Creator of all things, which is me. You can contribute any amount you feel in your heart. If you want a different amount, just type the desired amount. And remember, only what fits in your heart, I receive with love. The amount doesn't matter. What matters is the heart with which you give. Because a little for you can be a lot for the one who receives. Whoever contributes any amount with a sincere heart, don't forget to leave your name and city along with your contribution. Because on the first day of the following month, in a unique and special video on our channel and page, Divine Love, the Voice of God, your name will be remembered, mentioned in gratitude, and covered with divine blessings released in prayer. For it is written in the second book of Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 10, "Now he who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food will also supply and increase your store of seed, and will enlarge the harvest of your righteousness. Every offering made in faith is a seed before me, your Lord, and I will not fail to bear fruit. I see in secret and reward in the sight of all. Stay until the end of this message, because I still want to touch your heart with my voice." Do you remember that afternoon when you sat at the kitchen table with a cup of already cold coffee in your hands, staring into nothingness while the clock on the wall seemed to mark every second of your solitude? The world outside kept turning. Cars passed on the street. The neighbors laughed, but inside your house the silence was so dense that it physically hurt. You felt invisible, as if you had been forgotten on a dusty shelf of life. At that moment, the weight on your shoulders was so great that the mere thought of getting up to wash the dishes seemed like an impossible mountain to climb. I was there, between you and the silence. I saw when you closed your eyes and took a deep breath, trying not to let despair overflow. I saw when you picked up the phone, scrolled through your contacts, and realized there was no one you could confess to that your soul was crying out for help. You didn't want to be a burden. You didn't want pity, so you kept it all to yourself. But know that every thought of anguish that passed through your mind was heard by me. I was in the empty bus seat when you rested your head against the window and let a tear escape as you looked at the city lights. I was in the hospital corridor when you waited for news that was slow in coming, feeling the cold air conditioning chill your skin and fear paralyze your steps. For it is written in the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 41, verse 10, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I strengthen you and help you, and uphold you with my righteous right hand. I am not a God from afar. I am the God who dwells in the intervals of your pain." When you thought the sky was made of bronze, and that your words hit the ceiling and bounced back, I was, in fact, holding your face. That afternoon in the kitchen, I was there. On that bus, I was your travel companion. In that hospital, I was the peace that kept your heart from stopping. You have never been helpless, not for a millisecond. The world may have fallen silent for you, but I have never stopped whispering that I love you. But I have not yet shown you everything I have prepared for the end of this invisible cycle of abandonment that you have endured. There is a change of season that has already begun to blow in your direction, and what I will reveal to you next is something your eyes have not yet dared to dream of. If you felt my embrace just now, like this message so it reaches other weary hearts, and subscribe so you don't miss any of our meetings. Share this video with the person the Holy Spirit brings to your mind right now. Tell me, in the silence of your soul, what was the moment when you felt most alone lately? Write in the comments, "My support." I know that, at times, my voice seems like a whisper, lost in the noise of your daily worries, when the world demands that you be strong and functional, even when your soul just wants to collapse. But it is in the cold dawns, when weariness weighs on your eyes, and loneliness tries to sit at the table with you as if it were an unwanted guest, that I most desire to be your constant companion and your safe haven. I don't want to be just a fleeting visitor in your life, but the eternal partner who walks beside you at every sunrise and every bedtime, transforming your isolation into sacred intimacy. If your heart longs to go deeper with me and feel my hand holding yours every day, I have left you a gift in the form of a journey that I wrote with much love and care for all my beloved daughters and sons. The digital book called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was prepared to be your daily remedy against sadness, accompanying you day after day in silence and total intimacy, so that you never again feel the weight of the world alone on your shoulders. Access to this journey of faith is also available in the link in this video's description and in the pinned comment. And if today is not possible for you, do not condemn yourself in any way. Just stay with me here because I will also sustain and strengthen you with this message until the end, and so that your heart may rest and not be confused by technical details. Soon after you register, access will arrive in the email you registered with all the correct instructions, explained step by step, so that you can begin to hear my voice constantly in your routine. For it is written in the Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 28, verse 20, "And behold, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. I am the companion that fills the empty spaces in your home, and the love that heals the marks of rejection that time has not been able to erase." This devotional is my embrace in the form of words, so that in moments of deepest silence, you may remember that your eternal partner never leaves. Breathe, trust, and remain here with me, for what I have prepared for your complete restoration is far greater than any pain you have endured until now. There were times when you felt that your life was like an open book, that no one was interested in reading. You saw the people around you celebrating achievements, being noticed, receiving flowers, or simply a look of recognition, while you remained in the shadows, doing your best without anyone saying thank you. This invisible cycle of abandonment, where you are physically present but feel like an emotional ghost within your own home, or at your workplace, has created a deep wound of rejection within you. I saw when you got ready for an event, and upon arriving, felt you could disappear and no one would notice your absence. I saw the weariness in your eyes as you reflected on so many decades dedicated to others, while your own heart lagged behind, dwindling in a forgotten corner of your soul. Today I declare the end of this cycle of invisibility. What was ignored by the eyes of men has become the center of my attention. I am removing the veil that hid you and placing you in the place of honor I have reserved exclusively for my chosen daughters. You will no longer be called helpless, nor will your story be reduced to a lonely desert. I am moving the pieces on the chessboard of eternity so that you may be seen, heard, and valued as the treasure I planned for you to be from your mother's womb. For it is written in the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 49, verses 15 and 16. Can a mother forget her nursing child, that she should have no compassion on the son of her womb? Even these may forget, yet I will not forget you. Behold, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. Your walls are continually before me. The world may have left you aside, but your name is tattooed on my hand with the blood of my Son. Where there was contempt, I will bring recognition. Where there was silence, I will bring the voice of my justice. But I have not yet shown you all that I will do with those old memories that still throb like open wounds, those scars that you try to hide with makeup or forced smiles. There is a touch of healing being prepared right now, and you will feel the freshness of my restoration in places you thought were dead forever. If you believe your time of being invisible is over, leave a like to confirm you received this word. Subscribe to this channel if you want my voice to be the last thing you hear before you sleep and the first thing you hear when you wake up. Share this light with a woman you know who feels as alone as you once felt. Deep down in your heart, what wound do you most want me to touch today? Write in the comments, "I want to start over." There are marks on your soul that time hasn't been able to fade, invisible scars that throb whenever the silence becomes too deep. I see these wounds, the ones you don't confess even to your best friend, the ones you kept locked in a box in the basement of your heart, hoping that oblivion would consume them. But oblivion is a flawed remedy. I saw when, years ago, a harsh word was thrown at you like a stone, and the sound of that voice still echoes in your thoughts when you're trying to sleep. I saw the betrayal that left a taste of ashes in your mouth, and the abandonment that made you feel your worth depended on the approval of someone who never knew how to love you. Right now, I am touching those hidden places. Feel the warmth of my hands on the coldness of those memories. I didn't come just to apply a superficial bandage. I came to perform a surgery of love. I am removing the poison of rejection and the weight of guilt that was never yours. I remember the smell of that room, the tone of that conversation, and the exact moment you felt something inside you had died. But I am the resurrection and the life, and what time has wounded my eternity heals. For it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 3, "He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds." I am taking care of every detail, cleansing the marks of shame and restoring the dignity they tried to steal from you. You no longer need to carry the weight of being the victim of a story that is already over. The touch I give you now is gentle, but powerful enough to make you breathe without that tightness in your chest that has accompanied you for so long. That feeling that your past defines your future is being undone now. But I haven't yet shown you the table I'm preparing. There is an honor that comes from heaven to replace the humiliation you experienced on earth. Prepare your heart, because what I will reveal to you about the banquet I have reserved for you will cause all those who doubted your worth to see my glory shining on your face. If you feel that my touch is healing your past now, leave your like as a seal of this restoration and subscribe so that my voice continues to be your daily guide. Share this healing with someone you know who lives imprisoned by a painful memory. Tell me, with all the sincerity of your soul, what would you leave behind today if you knew that I have already forgiven you and healed you completely? Write in the comments, "Real freedom." While you watched, from afar, the banquets of others, I was measuring your hunger and thirst for justice. How many times have you sat in some corner of your house with a simple plate and a lost look, feeling that life was happening for everyone but you? I saw you applaud, sincerely, but with a heavy heart, the victory of those who didn't put in half your effort, while your own harvest always seemed delayed by storms you didn't cause. Your eyes are red and burning, tired of looking at the horizon and not seeing the ship of your provision appear on the shoreline. But listen to what your eternal partner tells you now. The time of being content with the crumbs that fall from the tables of those who don't value you has come to an end. I myself am spreading the purest linen tablecloth, bringing the best wine and the delicacies I have stored in the reservoir of heaven for this exact moment in your journey. For it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 23, verse 5, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows." This will not be a quick, hasty encounter by the roadside, arranged to silence you. It will be a public banquet prepared with the refinement of a father who is proud of the daughter he has. Those who saw you crying alone in the dimness of the kitchen, those who whispered in the hallways about your apparent defeat, and those who treated you as if you were invisible, will be the eyewitnesses to the honor I will bestow upon your life. I will anoint your hair with the oil of joy, the oil that removes the smell of ashes, the weight of mourning and the trace of contempt. You will sit with dignity and partake of the fruit of your patience, and the weariness that weighs on your eyelids today will be replaced by a gleam of victory that no one, absolutely no one, will be able to extinguish. I am preparing this place for you, where you will not need to prove your worth to any human being, for my presence at the head of the table will be your greatest accolade. But I have not yet shown you the secret I keep for the final touch of our meeting today. There's a hug I'm saving for the moment you finally release that breath you've been holding for so long. A hug so deep that even time itself won't have the power to undo it. If your heart can already smell the aroma of this table prepared by the Creator, leave your like so that the abundance of the kingdom may find you today, and subscribe so that my voice may continue to be your nourishment. Share this promise with a sister who today feels that only leftovers remain for her. Tell me, in the intimacy of your spirit, what is the name of the person you most want to see God's faithfulness fulfilled at their table? Write in the comments, abundant table. Imagine that at this very moment I am crossing the distance between my throne and the corner of your room, where you usually shrink to fit into your own pain. It is not a hurried touch, nor a perfunctory handshake. It is that embrace you sought in human arms and never fully found, an embrace that asks for no explanations, that does not judge your weariness, and that does not let go when you begin to tremble. Feel the warmth of my presence enveloping your shoulders, supporting your spine that seemed to carry the weight of 100 years in just 1 decade. I am here to affirm your identity. You are not a mistake. You are not what remains of an emotional shipwreck. You are my beloved daughter, the apple of my eye whom I protect with the zeal of a warrior and the affection of a father. The security I offer you does not depend on the circumstances outside. The world may be in flames, people may continue to fail you, but your eternal partner is a rock that does not move. When you feel the ground is unstable, remember that my hands are beneath yours, preventing you from hitting rock bottom. I surround you from behind and in front, and I place my hand upon you, like an invisible shield against the arrows of loneliness that try to convince you that your destiny is isolation. For it is written in the book of the prophet Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 17, "The Lord your God is in your midst, a mighty one who will save. He will rejoice over you with gladness. He will be silent for your love. He will rejoice in you with joy. I am silent in love only to hear the beating of your heart next to mine. This embrace is my promise that, as long as there is breath in your lungs, I will be your shadow at your right hand. Time may take away youth, it may take away loved ones, it may take away opportunities, but the Creator's embrace is the only thing that remains intact, traversing the years and disappointments to tell you that you are loved, with a love that has no end. You can finally release the breath that was held. You can rest the weight of your head on my chest. I am not going anywhere, but I have not yet shown you what I have kept as the final revelation of this encounter. There is a secret about what is to happen in the coming days, something I have kept in absolute silence until your soul was ready to hear. And now you are. If you felt the warmth of this divine embrace just now, like this message as an act of surrender, and subscribe so we can be together with each new dawn. Share this embrace with someone you know hasn't received genuine affection in a long time. What would change in your life today if you had the absolute certainty that you would never again spend a night alone? Write in the comments, "My safe haven." We have arrived at a place of sacred silence, where the voices of the world lose their meaning, and only what I have kept in my secret begins to shine for your tired eyes. There are things I whispered to the angels about you, but which I kept hidden from you until this very second, because your soul needed to be honed by silence to bear the weight of the glory that is to come. You spent too much time looking at the ground, counting the losses and trying to understand why so many doors closed so forcefully. But what you called rejection, I called protection. What you called delay, I called preparation. I was saving the best wine for the grand finale of your life's celebration, and that moment has just been released in the courts of heaven. In the coming days, I want you to pay attention to the small signs. An unexpected phone call from someone you thought you'd never see again, a peace that fills your heart amidst turmoil, or that strange feeling that something big is about to happen. It's not your imagination. It's the movement of my hands removing the debris from your path. There is a restitution of years that the locust has consumed, a return of joy that you thought had died in your youth. I have reserved for you a time of rest where you will no longer need to beg for affection or desperately fight to be noticed. You will be sought after, you will be honored, and you will be living proof that I do not fail my daughters. For it is written in the first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 9, "But as it is written, what no eye has seen, nor ear heard, nor the heart of man imagined, what God has prepared for those who love him." You cannot even imagine the beauty of what is planned for your tomorrow. What I have in store for you is not just an improvement, it's a new life. It's the end of that corrosive loneliness and the beginning of an eternal partnership that will be visible in every area of your being. But there is still one final step, a golden key that I promised at the beginning of our conversation and that I will deliver now to seal this encounter prophetically. Prepare your spirit, for the phrase "I will whisper to your heart" will be the armor you will wear against any fear that tries to visit you tonight. If you are ready to receive what the human eye has not yet seen, like this message now and subscribe to seal your entry into this new season. Share this mystery with that person you know has lost hope of seeing something good happen. Before we deliver the final key, what do you feel I am preparing for you at this very moment? Write in the comments, "Living Promise." My daughter, now that our conversation reaches its deepest point, I want you to breathe very slowly and feel that the weight that was on your shoulders no longer exists. He stayed behind while you listened to my voice. The journey we made today was not just a message on a channel, but a meeting arranged in eternity so that you would know once and for all that your lonely cry was heard and your eternal partnership was established. You leave here today with a new identity, no longer the woman who cries alone, but the daughter who walks accompanied by the Creator of all things. The answer you have sought so much is being delivered now, not in the form of a magic formula, but in the form of a supernatural force that will come to dwell within you. Remember that I promised a phrase at the beginning of this video? A phrase that would be whispered like a key to open the doors of your new life? Well, here it is, revealed to those who remained faithful until this last moment. Keep it in your heart, repeat it when you wake up, and make it your shield before you sleep. The phrase is, "I can do all things through him who strengthens me." Write this phrase in the comments right now as an act of unwavering faith, so that the angels may record your victory and that prophetic blessings may be released upon your home. As you type each letter, feel the strength of 1,000 armies rising in your favor. You are not just commenting, you are declaring that from today onward, your weakness has been swallowed up by my strength. I still have much more to reveal to you, for the secrets of heaven are inexhaustible for those who love my presence. Stay attentive. Stay connected to my voice through our playlist of prayers and messages, for each video is a new step towards your complete restoration. Our encounter does not end here. It only transforms into a continuous walk from glory to glory. Receive now my seal of peace. Feel my final embrace. Move forward, for I have already arrived at your tomorrow and prepared everything there.